Hello, and welcome to this Lenten Wednesday reflection for the season of Lent. I'm here in this beautiful space, this chapel at Emmanuel Episcopal Church. It's not the main sanctuary, but it is the gift of God that there is this beautiful chapel where people can come seeking contemplative presence with God, to be still, to be quiet, to find silence, serenity, and peace, and the beauty and wonder of God's revealed love to us in his Son, Jesus Christ. And that's why we are praying the Serenity Prayer, to find deeper peace and deeper serenity in our lives, in the circumstances and the challenges that come our way. We began last week with the remarkable opening of the Prayer of Serenity, written by Reinhold Niebuhr in 1931. Listen again to the lines. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And so we listen for God's voice to come to us, to give us the wisdom that we need, and the courage and agency and responsibility that is ours to change the things that we can. But the lines that continue are just as rich and powerful in spiritual guidance. Listen to what they say. Living one day at a time, enjoying one moment at a time, accepting hardships as the pathway to peace. Living one day at a time. The great psychiatrist Viktor Frankl, survivor of Auschwitz, the German concentration camps, wrote a remarkable book called Mankind's Search for Meaning. And he would often ask his patients a very penetrating question. What would it be like for you to live your life a second time? Or to put it this way, what would it be like if you had the opportunity to live this day a second time? How would it be different? You might think about a previous day in which perhaps most of your day was given away to the energies of anxiety and fear, or anger and resentment. You gave yourself to things that simply do not matter. You didn't engage relationally. You didn't accept the responsibilities that were before you. You evaded them and withdrew from them. What would it be like if you had another opportunity to live that day again? What would be different about it? See, that's the concern of living one day at a time. I love the way that William Paul Young, the author of The Shack, speaks about Christian spirituality and his own practice of being a friend of God. He says, I make it my aim to live within the grace of this one day. Isn't that beautiful? To live within the grace of this one day, to stay and to remain within the grace of this one day, not to be pulled into future tripping and worrying about what's coming down the pike, not to look to the past in regret and pain and powerlessness, but to live into the gift of this day. This is what God is revealing to us in this prayer. Each time that we arise in the morning and are awakened and have breath and can stand on our feet, we once more again realize the truth that we live and move and have our being in God. It is a sheer gift of grace to have this day that he has made. Light shines for the righteous and gladness for the upright in heart. Rejoice in the Lord and give thanks at the remembrance of his name. A new beginning, new grace, a fresh day. Jesus himself acknowledged this in his teaching to his disciples and his students in that wonderful Lord's Prayer, the prayer of Jesus, where he teaches us to say, give us this day, not next week, not next month, not next year. Give us this day, this good day, our daily bread, what we need for this day. In other words, the Lord is our shepherd. We lack nothing. Our shepherd is completely sufficient to every need that we have. As we seek to live within the grace of this one day, we will find his peace, his joy, his provision, and his hand of action in our daily circumstances. So to live one day at a time is a way of serenity and deeper peace. But then the next line follows right on it. Enjoying one moment at a time. Enjoying one moment at a time. Savoring what is right before you in this present moment, here and now, is where God's presence and love and goodness and beauty can be found and known, even when our moments may be filled with fear or things which cause us harm. We can be non-judgmental about them and seek to know that God is truly here with us. I will fear no evil because you are here. You're with me. So it's really a challenge of mindful living, attentive living, not living your life as if you're on automatic pilot, eliminating the ruthless hurry of life, and seeking to live a more mindful, present awareness of each moment of life. We don't want to live mindless lives, do we? We want to live mindful lives, aware of the gift of this very moment. And then finally, accepting hardships as the pathway to peace. I love the opening lines of M. Scott Peck, another wonderful psychiatrist, in his book, The Road Less Traveled. Do you remember what he said? The first line of his book was this: life is difficult. That is so true. Life is filled with hardships. But the Serenity Prayer teaches us that hardships are actually a pathway to a deeper peace. You see, we grow in character and in virtue, in courage, in acceptance and wisdom by moving through the challenges of life, because we're being formed and shaped by God's life within us to learn how to accept them and to carry them together with God. Hardships. Jesus said, in this world you will have trouble and difficulty, hardships, but be of good cheer. In other words, know the deep joy that I have overcome the world. You see, it's never just you and the hardship, whatever it may be. Let's say you're trying to replace a pipe and you just can't get this pipe to go into the right socket. Well, remember, it's never just you and the pipe. God is with you and he has wisdom to assist you. In any situation, it's never just you. Well, my friends, much to think about here in this Serenity Prayer, and I hope these reflections are helpful to you during the season of Lent. Remember, enjoy this day, enjoy this moment. God is with you in your hardships. I'll see you next week.